If it's your job to go in and secure a crime scene, if it's your job to go in and protect children, you are not being a hero, you are doing your job. These officers did not do their jobs, Johnson. These officers did the opposite of their jobs. These officers relinquished their responsibility. These officers were negligent. These officers should be fired, lose their pensions, Johnson, and they should be sued. And if they can't be sued, they should be jailed. Because these officers obviously, in the admission of one of their law enforcement personnel.
You say there were 19 officers gathered in the hallway or somewhere. What efforts were made to try and break through that door? You say it was locked. What efforts were the officers making to try and break through either that door or another door to get inside that classroom?
None at that time. The on-scene commander at the time believed that it had transitioned from an active shooter to a barricaded subject.
You have people who are alive, children who are calling 911 saying, please send the police. They are alive in that classroom. There are lives that are at risk.
Hey,
that's not protocol, is it?
We're well aware of that.
Right, yeah. But why was this decision made not to go in and rescue these children?
Again, you know, the on-scene commander considered it a barricaded subject and that there was time and there were no more children at risk. Obviously, you know, based upon the information we have, there were children in that classroom that were at risk, and it was, in fact, still an active shooter situation and not a barricaded subject. The benefit of hindsight, hey, stand by, hey, stand by, all right? I got it, okay. Hey, from the benefit of hindsight, where I'm sitting now, of course it was not the right decision, it was the wrong decision, period. There's no excuse for that. But again, I wasn't there, but I'm just telling you, from what we know, we believe there should have been an entry at that as soon as you can. Hey, when there's an active shooter, the rules change. It's no longer, okay, it's no longer a barricaded subject. We don't have time. You don't worry about outer perimeters. And by the way, Texas embraces active shooter training.
Thank you for giving us this outlet to speak. I want to share an article. Police have no duty to protect you. Federal court affirmed this yet again in 2018 after Parkland shooting. Some of the students sued the school district, sheriff's office, school deputy, campus monitor, but the federal judge ruled government agencies had no constitutional duty to protect students. So just Google it. Google the statement. Police doesn't have the obligation to protect citizens, and you'll see all kinds of articles about that. I mean, police where I live, you know what they do? They manage the traffic for Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A, like the lines get too long and it obstructs the traffic, and the police will go help. This is a routine thing. This is where our tax money goes to.
What we're trying to do is have a dialogue. What we're trying to do is understand one another. But there's some people saying, man, you can't count on these damn cops. I'm staying strapped because I don't trust these cops to do a damn thing for me. And I don't know why you do. I don't know why you do. Is that what people are saying? I'm trying to understand it, Johnson. And what I'm saying is the sister just ran. She said cops under no duty to save us. The reports are saying that there are officers who showed up on that scene who went into that school and retrieved their children and left other people's children there with the shooter. Went back to safety because they was good. 636, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Oh, this is funny. I've been waiting this whole time to talk, and the previous caller brought up exactly what I was going to bring up. And then you actually said what I was going to say towards the end, but I'm going to make it a little bit more simple. the police and the government and all this stuff, and this is what I was getting at last time when I talked to you, they don't care about you. It's that simple. That's why I've been carrying a gun for most of my life. The police are not here to protect you. That's why if I was a teacher, I would bring a gun to school every single day. That's why I'm pro-gun. I also know that since politicians don't care about you, they're never going to pass anything when it comes to gun regulation at all. Don't count on it. Don't wish upon a star. It'll never happen. What will happen is there will be another mass shooting very soon. You could set your watch to it. It'll probably take a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. There'll be another one. And we'll just rinse and repeat over and over and over again. What I was getting at last time when I called is what's happening is society, the country itself, is falling apart. And the reason it's falling apart, Tim, is because of all the stuff we talk about is not happening. Stuff like universal health care, fair wages, getting people access to mental health care, just basic stuff, caring about one another. We no longer care. We are so desperate trying to support ourselves and our families that we do not care about our neighbors. We don't care about anything but ourselves. That's what it comes down to with politicians, corporations, and now it's even celebrated. It's literally celebrated in our media. If you look at popular music, if you look at Donald Trump is a perfect example. He was president for 4 years. What kind of person was he? Was he like Bernie Sanders? Did he care? Was he, oh, we need to help the poor, we need to help the sick? No. It was, you're fired. I'm in charge. I'm the alpha male. We're going to kill him. We're going to do this. We're going to bomb him. We're going to tough guy this. That's where we're headed, Tim. We're headed into even darker times. Nothing's going to change, except for maybe things are going to get worse. That's what's going to happen. That's my prediction.
Wow.
Because what that woman was saying is absolutely true. The police have no obligation to risk their lives to save yours. Now remember, on 9/11, the firefighters, when the planes hit the buildings, did they stop themselves from going inside the buildings because they knew they would be putting their own lives in danger? No. They went into those buildings knowing that their lives would be in danger. But see, now, Tim, we're in a place now where people worship the police. We're in a position now where police are not expected to put their lives at risk for others. That's where we are now. So the way I've actually shifted politically. I used to believe in gun regulation. I used to believe in all this. You know what I believe now? Buy a gun. Buy a gun and learn how to use it and protect yourself. Because the police are not going to help you. You know where I live? I live right outside one of the most dangerous cities in the country. You think I go to that city thinking if something bad happens, I can depend on the police to help me? You're out of your mind if that's what you think. I have a gun because I know the police can't help me. And even if they could, they wouldn't. They would watch someone else shoot me before they'd even think about doing it. In fact, the only thing that'll get a cop to shoot you is if you try to shoot them first. That's the only thing. Because, and yet, at the end of the day, for a police officer, you know what they're trying to do? They're trying to make a living and make it home to their family. That's what they're there to do. That's what they're doing. You think they're a cop because they want to be a cop? You think they're a cop because they want to be a hero? They want to make $45,000 a year so that they can live in a nice house, so that they can live in a nice neighborhood. Outside of the neighborhood, they police. This is the reality, Tim. I don't live in a fantasy world. I live in reality. And that's why I carry a gun. That's why I've been carrying a gun for most of my life. And by the way, my grandfather was a police officer for 27 years. And you want to know something funny about him? He was a murderer and a wife beater. He raped people. He was one of the most deadly, most vicious people I've ever known in my life. And I've known a lot of twisted people in my life. None of them are anywhere near as scary as my grandfather. Police officer, there to protect you. That man looked me right in the face and said, Neil, for every drug dealer you've ever met in your life, there's a narcotics agent that's 100 times more dangerous. And he can kill you and get away with it.
Woo!
Because he knows how to do it. And he's got friends that will back him up and cover up for him. Because he's protected them. And they're protecting him. It's a family. It's a club and you're not in it. I know this because I almost became a police officer. But I turned away from it once I saw the truth of the culture and what it's really like. I realized that I couldn't become a police officer because I'm a decent human being and I would be forced to do things that I wouldn't be able to live with myself with. This is the world we're living in now. We're not living in a world where the police are there to protect you. And no, that's not the world we're living in. So my advice to your viewers, buy a gun. Learn how to use it. Protect yourself. Protect your family. Because the cops are not going to do it. The teachers should be bringing guns. They should be protecting the children. The cops aren't going to protect you. You're dreaming. We're not going to pass gun laws. Are you insane? Last time they tried to do a ban on assault weapons, 13 Democrats voted against it, including every single Republican. Where do you think this gun regulation is going to come from? The sky?
Damn.
You're dreaming.
Boom. Boom, Johnson.
I know, I
Boom.
hate this. You know, it's funny. I've gone so far left that I've actually popped out on the other side. You know, Marx was actually pro-gun. He actually believed that citizens should have the right to bear arms and protect themselves. And I'm starting to think the reason he thought that was because he understood you cannot trust the state to protect you.
My brother.
And it seems now everyone's starting to wake up to that, finally. Finally, people are starting to go, it's always the police really want to protect. You think?
My brother.
How many times do you have to see a cop murder an innocent person? How many times? I mean, it's like I'm living in that movie, Idiocracy.
Oh, Groundhog's Day.
It really is.
Right. Teddy.
Well, you know, I'm going to be honest with you, Tim. I like you. I think you're a straight guy. I really do. And I think you genuinely care about the welfare of this nation. But I'm telling you, Tim, you're all alone. You're all alone, Tim. No one gives a shit. Most people don't give a shit.
My brother. My motherfucking brother. Give it up for my caller, y'all. I appreciate the shit out of you, brother. You have no idea how much.
I appreciate the shit out of you.
I appreciate it, man. Look, man, just give it up for this caller one more time. This is my caller, Teddy. And I want you to know, guys, that Teddy just made the cost of admission make sense. I want you to know that Teddy just said it all.